You may have heard about Real ID, a new type of identification required by the federal government across the United States. But recently, what's causing many retirees to worry isn't just this card itself, but the question, if I don't have a Real ID, will I lose my Social Security benefits? This is no longer just a baseless concern. As many people begin receiving letters from the SSA requesting identity verification, while states simultaneously urge everyone to get Real ID before the May 2025 deadline, the feeling of confusion becomes very real. With a complex system, numerous procedures, and many changes that aren't always clearly communicated, feeling out of control is understandable, especially when monthly retirement or benefit payments are the main source of income for many people. In this video, we'll explore together what exactly is Real ID, why it's being required now, and most importantly, whether it affects benefits like SSI, SSDI, or Medicare that you're currently receiving. This isn't about political analysis or sensationalism, but about facts, based on official sources and the experiences of people who are worried just like you. Let me help you navigate the key points of this policy so you don't lose benefits just because of a misunderstanding, or because you waited until the last minute to take action. And if you have elderly relatives who aren't familiar with procedures or who are afraid they might miss important information, this video could be the most timely reminder for them. First, let's clarify what is Real ID. It's a new type of identification card designed according to federal standards to enhance security after the 9/11 events. Beginning May 7, 2025, if you want to board a domestic flight or enter federal facilities like military bases, nuclear power plants, or certain government buildings, you'll need to present a Real ID or another federal identification document such as a passport. The problem lies in the fact that this information is being misunderstood in a very concerning way. Recently, many elderly people, especially those receiving SSI, SSDI, or retirement benefits, have unexpectedly received letters from the Social Security Administration, SSA, requesting identity verification or account information updates. At the same time, states are actively promoting the Real ID deadline, causing many people to worry. If I don't have a Real ID, will my payments be stopped? Or even, is the SSA requiring me to have this card to continue receiving benefits? This is precisely the point of confusion and the reason why this video was created. If not clarified, these fears could cause many people to waste time, stand in line for unnecessary procedures, or worse. Delay identity verification as actually required by the SSA and encounter problems receiving their benefits. So, what's the truth between these two streams of information? We'll analyze this together right now. What's the truth? According to official sources like SSA.gov and DHS. Gov people who are receiving or about to receive Social Security benefits are not required to have a Real ID, whether you're receiving retirement benefits, SSI, SSDI, or using Medicare, even if you're visiting a Social Security office to submit documents or update information. None of these activities require you to have a Real ID. These core and important benefits remain secure as long as your identity is correctly verified according to the system's requirements. However, what's worth noting is that many people are missing the most important part of the identity verification process. While you don't need a Real ID, you still need clear identification documents when working with the SSA. This is especially important if you've changed your bank account mailing address or if you're in the process of submitting a new application. In these situations, if you don't have a valid passport, don't have a new driver's license, or lack an original birth certificate, your case may be held or delayed. This is a reality that has happened to quite a few people. people who only discovered they were missing documents when their case was suspended or their benefits were put on hold. In other words, the issue isn't whether you have a real ID or not, but whether you have ready and complete necessary documents to verify your identity when the SSA requests them. And if you don't prepare in advance, that delay can directly impact your daily life. When might you actually be at risk with real ID? Not everyone is affected, but there are certain situations where the Social Security Administration will be required to re-verify your identity. This typically happens when you change your mailing address, update your bank account information, or when you're first applying for a new benefit, like SSI or retirement benefits. In these cases, the system will require you to provide specific and valid identification documents to ensure correct identity, avoiding errors and fraud. The problem is this: if you don't have documents like a new driver's license, valid passport, or original birth certificate, then your case processing may be delayed or even denied. This isn't rare. Many people only discover they're missing documents after they've started the process, and by then, everything has become much more complicated. Processing time extends, payments are temporarily suspended, and sometimes they have to visit the SSA office in person to resolve issues while still not fully prepared. Even more concerning is the current widespread confusion. Many people think that Real ID is mandatory to continue receiving government benefits. They stand in line to get the card, carrying anxiety with them, not knowing that what they really need might just be a few basic documents they already have at home. As a result, many people waste time and miss preparing what's truly important: the verification documents required by the SSA, which aren't necessarily real ID. So, what should you do to proactively protect your benefits starting now? First, stay calm and clarify. If you don't need to fly domestically or enter special federal facilities, then you absolutely are not required to get a real ID. Not having this card will not cause you to lose your retirement benefits, SSI, SSDI, or your right to use Medicare. If you don't have a real ID, that doesn't mean you cannot verify your identity with the Social Security Administration, SSA. In reality, the SSA still accepts many other types of documents to ensure you can complete your procedures validly, and according to the process, you can still use your Social Security number, SSN, along with one of the official documents such as a U.S. passport or original birth certificate. Additionally, to prove your current residential address, documents like electricity, water, internet bills, or rental agreements are typically accepted as long as they clearly show a name and address that matches your records. In case you cannot verify your identity through the online system, which commonly happens with elderly people, those unfamiliar with technology, or those whose information hasn't been updated, you should proactively schedule an appointment with the nearest SSA office. When going, bring all relevant documents so the verification process proceeds smoothly, avoiding delays or additional requirements afterward. Preparing thoroughly before meeting with the SSA not only helps you save time, but is also a way to protect your financial benefits in a system that is increasingly tightening management procedures to prevent errors and fraud. Additionally, if you're receiving benefits but don't have an online account, consider signing up for My Social Security today. This is the SSA's official tool that helps you check your personal information, track your case status, and receive early warnings if there are any verification or update requests from the system. This not only helps you be proactive, but also reduces the risk of delayed benefits because you didn't receive timely notifications. And if you're about to submit an application for the first time, the advice is don't wait until you really need the money to start the process. Early identity verification can save you a lot of time and help you avoid situations where your case is suspended just because of missing documents. In case you don't have a passport, A combination of birth certificate and old Medicare card may still be accepted at many SSA offices depending on the state and the receiving staff. In a system that's increasingly tightening verification procedures to combat fraud, preparing early not only gives you peace of mind, but is also the best way to ensure that the benefits you've contributed to for many years aren't unfortunately interrupted. Don't let rumors on social media or unverified word of mouth cause you additional worry. Real ID may be mandatory if you travel by air or need to enter special federal facilities, but it is not a requirement for you to receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or Medicare benefits. What you really need to care about is identity verification. And if you don't prepare in advance, even simple procedures can become barriers that cause delays or interruptions to your benefits. Our channel was created to clarify things like this, not chasing sensational headlines, not spreading misinformation. We're here to provide you with clear, honest, and updated guidance, so you can proactively protect what you deserve to receive after a lifetime of work. See you in the next video. And if you find this information helpful, don't forget to share the video with your loved ones and friends, because sometimes timely information can help someone avoid unnecessary trouble.